can't wait to shop.
I see a lot of things
Okay. How are you, friend?
I'm doing great.
Good. This is my pre-K teacher, Miss Jasmine.
Hey, Miss Jasmine. How are you?
Oh my girl. I love it.
All aboard the Education Station. Great afternoon, everyone. Hey, Facebook. Hey, Instagram. Hello, all. Tune in. Please like, share, and subscribe. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. To all my educators, tune in. Today is the day that you need to really be coming in here. I need you to find your friends, find all your educator friends, all your parents, your teachers, your co-teachers, your subs. Everybody need to come in here, okay? I have Miss Coach Frances Davis that's going to talk to us about customer service. I am so excited, you guys. I have been reading her phenomenal book. Oh my goodness, she's going to talk about it, y'all. But y'all know I'm getting in it. I don't feel to get, when I tell you I have been literally reading this book. Everybody that's on the Be About You business platform, they have been in this book as well, because this is our month of customer service. So we'll be talking about the heart of customer service, what can make our business stronger. We're having the best practice of customer service. Now, come on, tell the truth. We done all been somewhere where the customer service is not so great, and we don't write the best reviews. But when something happens, you want to hurry up and get upset and write a review, but you never get that praise moment. And I want to say Dr. Frances. Coach Frances teaches us in her book principles about things that we can do inside our childcare business. But I just don't want y'all to think childcare. I also want you to think about your business as well. Nail salons, beauticians. If you own a restaurant, if you in the food industry, this book can help you. Y'all excuse my little tabs, because I just have to talk about these little tabs. But I'm gonna let her come on, talk to you guys. But first, I want you to like, share, and subscribe. If you're not a part of the Education Station YouTube channel, go ahead and go be a part of that channel, because this will be on there again. You'll be able to see this over and over again. Okay. Also, if you haven't done so, go grab you a nice glass, because this is about to get juicy. Okay. This is about to help your business go to that next level. Do you hear me? Some of y'all just been stuck in the customer service where y'all been doing the same old thing. Facebook ain't the only thing you need to be doing. We're gonna make sure that we post on here where you can get her book, how you can work with Coach Frances in the customer service, because she has a coaching program as well. We're going to talk all about it, you guys. So let me first give y'all an introduction of how I know Coach Frances. I love telling this story. So I met Coach Frances back in 2016 at a childcare conference. And this was my first childcare conference. I've traveled alone. I was meet up with a friend of mine, and I was like, I'm just going all in. I was doing a home daycare at the time. And I get there, and we was in the lobby, and I heard the lady tell her there was no more rooms. Everything was sold out. And I was like, oh, well, she can join me. So Coach Frances, her daughter, and her assistant at the time was standing in the lobby, nowhere to go. So I let them come and join me in my hotel room. Yeah, I don't meet no strangers. This was the first time I ever met this lady in a hotel. And we spent, I think it was 2 days together in a hotel room. And I got to know Coach Frances very well. That's when I noticed that her customer service, her nice, genuine flow of how she coaches, how she talks to you and calm you down. She has one of the sweetest hearts. Like, you can go talk to her about things that you got going on in your services, things you need help with in your businesses. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be a lifetime sister. Like, this is my accountability partner. This is my go-to when I need to talk to someone that, like, I'm like, look, I'm having this frustrating day. I need to know, what do I need to do? I need to play damage control in my business right quick. And not only that, she's an awesome mother. Oh, y'all, she going to tell you. Awesome mother. I seen her in live in action in Orlando this year with her beautiful kids. Cece is her, I want to say your oldest, right?
Oldest
I
girl.
met her in 2016 and she was young and now she's turned into this beautiful butterfly that is a grown woman. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, she made me feel so much younger. But I'm not saying that word old. But this is Coach Francis.
Hey, hey, choo choo. You know, I choo choo. Hi, hello to everyone. I'm not able to see you, but I know that you're there, and I'm grateful that you are joining. First of all, let me tell you this. I am so excited to be here. I cannot even express how excited I am. And I told LaShawn, like, this is so exciting. And, you know, I remember some time ago her talking about getting, you know, a podcast going. And just to know that I was able to say, yep, you need to do it, encourage her and all of that. And here I am now, a guest on the podcast. But that's really just a testament to who she is. And you know, I have to give you your props. Like I just have to, because you know the saying, you can't just talk about it, you have to be about it. But LaShawn talks about it and is all about it. Like when she says something out of her mouth about what she's gonna do, best believe you're gonna see it happen. I can't even think of anything that she's never shared with me that has not manifested. And she keeps talking about things to come. And so I just love being connected to her, because if you ever need encouragement or somebody to push you, she is the one, and she is real. I love her so much. And when she says sister for life, she's locked. She's locked in. This is why sometimes on the post when we're communicating, you'll see a lock on it. And I mean that. Like, I love her so much. And so this is such an honor. This is such an honor. I'm so excited to be here. And yes, she was able to meet my oldest daughter. I have two, well, one son older than her, but yeah, I love the kids. That's my life. In childcare, at home, everywhere I'm surrounded.
Yes. Grandbaby.
Everywhere. The grandbaby, oh my goodness. And so, you know, I've said this before, I'll just say this real quick, because sometimes people are like, oh my God, you must really know what to do. You have all of these children, and then you have all of the, you know, childcare children during the time that I was operating a childcare center. But here's what the truth is. God knew that I was going to need to be at a level of patience. He knew I was going to need it. And so this is why I've been given these extra tasks, because it has not been easy. It has not been easy at all. But I'm so grateful for just the opportunities that has, you know, come my way, that have come my way, and those that continue to come my way. And so I'm super excited. Listen, y'all, she didn't really prep me, so I'm excited to know what, you know, we just gonna be in here talking. So it is what it is, but I'm ready. I better know something about the book I wrote.
Right. And this is, while we talking about the book, this is your second book? Because we did a collaboration book together, right?
Yes. And so my very first book experience through Jumpstart with our coach, Dr. Andrea Dickerson, was together with some other amazing childcare providers. That was my first experience. And when I tell you, that set a tone for me. And so this book, The Heart of Customer Service in Childcare, is a book that I just completed on my own. But that first book definitely lit a fire under me to get moving, to just really think about the process in a different way, you know, because I didn't really understand the process beforehand. And so I'm so grateful for that experience. We have a book together.
I know. I was like, I think, you know what? We also have a book together. I should have shared this book as well. We have a book together.
Me too.
But I really I remember, even we talk about, I remember her talking to us. We had an accountability group together, and she was like, y'all, I am going to write about the customer service journey. And so if you have been to any of our childcare conferences with our childcare coach, Dr. Andrea Dickerson, you have noticed that Coach Francis get on there and she likes to stage up with her beautiful voice, and it just comes the whole, it's like listening to what is that, the rainforest noise. I'm going to from you now, because you're going to go on to this journey, and on this journey you're going to learn. And everybody's like this at the conference, like, okay, yes, I get that now, you know. But every time I'm so in tune. I'm like, okay, what I'm going to learn now about the customer service journey.
That is awesome.
And so she was talking about the journey to us this last conference, and I have been coaching about the roadmap to success. And the roadmap to success is just like, I feel like it's the customer service journey. It's all a journey. The roadmap to success is a journey.
Absolutely.
If God said it was going to be easy, baby, everybody be doing it. I'm going to tell you the truth. I talked to a young lady today, and I was like, baby, if it was going to be easy, everybody will get a piece of the pie. But you got to learn how to work hard, and not only that, have the heart to serve. If you don't have a servant heart, it's not gonna, you're in it for the wrong reason. If all you're in it for is just the money, you want the money, you want the money, you want the money, but you don't have the heart to serve, the money will come. Trust me. The money will come, but you got to have the heart to serve.
That's good. Absolutely. She just spoke truth. And I love that you said that, because that's what I plan to get into, the heart of the matter, because that's what it boils down to. So I can't wait to talk about that.
Yes. And so when she was telling us about the customer service book, what we kept saying, come out with the book already. What chapter you on now, Coach Francis? What you doing now, Coach Francis?
And it felt like I was saying the same chapter every meeting. When I had to give an account for where I was, it seems like I was saying the same one. You know, it was just, I don't know what what was going on, you know, with me. And I can go back and share a bunch of stuff. But at the end of the day, the focus is what was necessary. And sometimes when you're in a group and you're connected to certain voices that ring with you, it gives you just the power that you need to push through whatever is in your way, whatever is hindering you. And so that's how it came about. That is how it came about.
And I want to say the way we was, I hope I wasn't pressuring you. I was just like, you got this, Francis. Just go ahead, just come on out with it. Just come on out with it. People need to see this book. People need to hear people. I'm saying people, but it was really me. Francis, need this book. I need something in my hand that I can read, because it's like stuff. I think I was talking to my pastor, Pastor K, and he has a whole library of books. Like he'll sometimes just talk to me and be like, I got this whole library of books. And it's something about just having a library of books that when you need something at that moment, you're able to go to your library. And I hope everybody is staying tuned. Again, share, like, share, and subscribe. Comment if you need. Say, hey, Miss Kathy. But when you're able to just go, when you're having a problem with something and you're able to go into your library of things that you have purchased in the past, and that one book that peeks out to be like, oh my God, this is a blessing. I need this customer service book, because we always talk about appreciation of the staff, appreciation of this. But what do we do for our clients? What do we do for the people that is lifting our business up, that's bringing in the clients, you know, the money that you are looking forward to, right?
Exactly.
So, of course, I'm getting into this book. So my staff at Tiny Tigers Learning Center is actually, this month is our customer service month. We're leveling up in our customer service, meaning just taking a little bit more extra steps and making sure that we acknowledge that our parents are treated very well and that their kids are treated very well, and we acknowledge their services, and we thanking them like for even trusting us with their little ones. A handwritten note, just even if you just say good morning in a nicer way. Like, I know my parents like, he's over the top. I'd be like, great morning, you know. But if I don't do it, it's like something wrong with Miss Carter.
Yeah, but that's your signature. You're actually the reason why I started saying great morning. I say it all the time now, but I first heard it from you.
Everybody says that. They're like, you're the only reason why I say great morning now.
Yeah.
Like,
I say
so I'm like, this morning I wasn't feeling my best. I was telling my sister Francis here, I was like, I said, my asthma has been kicking my butt this week, this whole week. So, but the doctor got me right. Shout out to Teledoc. I love a Teledoc. You can call them through Zoom or through your phone, and they prescribe you some medicine right then and there. Because today was just a day I was like, I'm not giving up. I'm going to have this podcast, and today is going to be a successful day. And today is a successful day. Okay, you guys. So we're going to get right in. If you do have your book, which some of my Sister Squad members do have their purchase of their book, I want you to turn into the page to where she talks about in chapter 2, what is customer service really? So, and what I highlighted in this portion of when I read this is, I want to challenge you to think of customer service only as serving.
Mhm.
To serve is to put the needs and interests of others above your own. This behavior or attitude comes easy from some and challenging for others. Have you ever wondered why customer service seems to be a challenge for some? It's because customer service or serving is an issue of the heart. Let's talk about it.
Woo, yes. So it's interesting that you went there, and let me tell you why. I don't know if you remember this, but when I first received the message internally that I needed to push this particular vision about teaching about customer service, that's what I called it. It was customer service and childcare. But what I found was that the words customer service was kind of throwing people off. And the way that I know that is because whenever there's a training that I do called the ABCs of Customer Service and Childcare. So at the beginning of that training, I always ask everyone who is included to define customer service in their own opinion. And I talk about this in the book too. And usually the answers are it's a department, or it's someone that helps you when you call in. Like, they weren't really getting it in the way in which I felt what it was, which is serving. At the end of the day, customer service is just simply you serving, which means you're putting, as you just said, the needs of others above your own. Now, some people trip on that as well. That doesn't mean that I've diminished myself. And as a matter of fact, that is actually a sign that I'm fully aware of who I am, to be able to lift somebody up higher than me at the moment, to let them know that they have the right to take up space, especially if they stepped into my arena, whether it be my child care facility, my home child care. And if you have another business, whatever your business is, that essentially is your home. When visitors come in, they are looking to be served. And so there's a way that that is felt. There's a way that is also given and extended. And if your heart is not in it, what they're going to hear is a script, or what they're going to hear is something along the lines of not really wanting to be there, if that makes sense. And I have plenty of stories for that. But yes, ma'am, I love that part.
Yes. And I was saying, like, even I wrote some of my answers down in the book, because she has it where you can actually take this book and write down information in the inside of it. That's the key thing. I love books that have like little notes that you can write in and highlight things. And it said it's extremely important for you and those you lead to understand that appropriately the needs of another and the care. And she was just talking about, like, you need to know the needs of your service or your clients. A lot of people think, when, again, I'm talking to my childcare owners because we're talking childcare. A lot of people think just because we run a successful childcare that we don't have to have that empathy. And that's what I'm going into next, because you talked about it in here, and I had to. That was a little ticking me a little bit, because I was like, do I show empathy? And I feel like I show enough empathy, because I had to hire the lady that does my payments now. I don't collect my payments, and when I was reading about that, I was like, because I was showing too much empathy. I was letting people go by without paying me, because you can run a sob story on me and I'm gonna cry with you, and I feel like I'm Dr. Phil and I ain't on the side of their life. And when you was talking about it, I was like, ouch. Like, sometimes we have to know the appropriate needs of what our clients need at that moment. They might do need a shoulder to cry on, and they might do need somebody just to hear them out to make their day feel a little bit better. But don't just always feel like you always got to be that shoulder to cry on. Hey, we got important things we got to do in the childcare business. We got licensing. We got all types of things going down the agenda this week. Baby, we're going to help you with some therapy. I got a friend and she can help you with some counseling, but I got to move on, right? So I love that piece of it. And when you said, take a moment, think about a time when you received amazing customer service. Use the space below to write your memory of that experience. What made it amazing and how did it make you feel? Everybody know I'm a Chick-fil-A girl, and so is Francis. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm always thinking the Chick-fil-A way. And I had to have this conversation. I had this conversation with my coach once before. I said, I never knew that Chick-fil-A have bad days. Like, I literally went to a drive-through. Chick-fil-A always have people standing outside, right? And I never seen a day when they didn't have people standing outside to this one particular day. I pulled up and I was like, "Is they closed?" And it was two ladies running the show, but they ran it like it was 20 people in the building.
Wow.
Thank you for hi, my pleasure. My pleasure. I was like, how many? This me. I'm so nosy, y'all. I'm nosy. This me. Here, why y'all ain't got the people outside today? She said, "Oh, it's just a little hot out there." She was just making up all types of stories, but her customer service was on point. She made sure I got my kale salad, my Sprite, and she made sure she said my pleasure.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
found she realized who I was because I go there too much. She said, "Hey, that little lady." I said, "Hey." I said, "What's going on? It's just two of y'all in there." This me being nosy. It's just two of y'all in there. She said, "Yes." She
You're
said,
inquisitive.
"Everybody else didn't show up to work today, but we still got to keep it rolling."
That's right.
And
Yeah.
that day, she showed amazing customer service. She could have called out with the rest of them, but she came in. I thought that was an amazing story.
You know what? I love what you're saying. And because I wanted to speak on that. And I know you talked about empathy first, because empathy is a soft skill that we cannot ignore when you're in the service industry. I do think of childcare as being in the service industry. Most of the time, when you hear that, you think about, fast food or something to that nature. But we are serving from the moment we step in until we leave the building, multiple groups. And like even in my book, I listed what I believe the 5 groups are that we serve. I call them the 5 C's. But when it comes to empathy, if I'm not able to see the situation from your perspective, it's going to damage my response, I believe. If I have better insight as to why you see it that way, why you have that perspective, I can better understand how to respond. The other thing that I love about empathy is that it goes hand in hand with tact. And so while we live in a culture that praises, certain statements, such as match energy, I don't believe in that. I don't believe that leaders should take on that ideal. And the reason is because in order for me to develop a good relationship with you, I have to be able to understand things from your perspective. It's just, to me, a level of respect that is important in leadership. And so let's take what you said, for instance, when you realize, look, I can't be in charge of these payments because I'm going to keep on listening to the sob. I'm not saying that the stories aren't real when I say listening to the sob stories, because the sob stories could definitely be real and sometimes they're not. But in any case, because of the type of heart that you have, because I understood exactly what you meant, because I had to do that with my director. She did not play any games when it came to that. So she had to be the one that was in charge of that. But when you begin to develop a relationship, and this is why I talk about relationships so much, and this is why if it's missing, we're going to respond out of order or incorrectly. So if I've developed a relationship with you as my client, that means I understand your habits. I've listened to the stories. I've gotten close to understanding your family dynamics. When you say something to me, because of the relationship, I'm going to be able to better judge if you're telling me the truth or not, or if you're leading me on to it. You kind of better understand. But if I have no relationship with you and you come to me with a sob story, I'm not really going to know if I'm making the right decision. So this is why having empathy, but building relationships are so important. Let's talk about Chick-fil-A, because I could talk about Chick-fil-A all day. And I'm just talking about what you said. So Chick-fil-A has, and Coach is always talking about systems. They have a system and they have a brand that stands true to what they say. One of the ways that I explained how Chick-fil-A operates when I'm talking about customer service is, if you take a classroom with a teacher and with students, and let's say 85% of them are passing, and the other percentage is not passing, they're messing up, they're failing, then that's an indication that those students need extra assistance. Maybe they need to be moved to another classroom. Maybe they need to be taught in a way that matches their learning style. But I would not attribute it to the teacher's error. Now, say that you had the opposite, where only 15% of the students were passing, and the rest of the students were failing. Then I'm going to look at the teacher. Like, well, what are you doing? So that's how I see Chick-fil-A. If I roll up to Chick-fil-A on any given day and something is different from what I'm used to, then I will know it may be that individual, because their system is not, of course, it's not perfect. There is no such thing as that. They're striving for perfection like we all should be. But it lets me know that that individual might need me to smile at them, or they might need me to ask. And I love the fact that you ask the question. Some people are just like, give me my food, and they roll away. But you made conversation with them. And I'm pretty sure it made her feel good to be able to say what she said, you know, whether it was accurate or not. You engaged in conversation with her. And I think that that makes the difference when you are, whether you're in the service position or you're receiving the service, having that conversation is so important, or that engagement is so important. So yeah, you know, I will go on and on because I'm gonna take a breath right now.
Yeah. So I wanted to start back because I had another page highlighted, but I didn't have my
Yes.
blue sticker notes. And it said, "Did you know that your business has a heart?" That was the first chapter. And when I read this when I was I think I was on a flight. I was on my way to Orlando, and I was sitting by a guy, and I was like, "Did you know your business has a heart?" And I was like, "Okay, where's she going with this?" You know, in my head. So then I started reading on and say, "Customer service is the heart of your business. Customer service or serving is a vital cornerstone of your business." So it's saying your business can truly thrive without it. Your business can't truly thrive without it. It can't truly thrive without a heart. So I was sitting there like, what, okay, hold on. So I was sitting on a plane like, what does she mean? And it can't thrive without a heart. And I said, well, let me look back at this again. So I started looking at it, and hold on, I was trying to kick this person out of the studio. Hold on. And it says, like, you can't, the way I terminologed it when it said a heart, I'm thinking of a beating heart in my chest, right? So if my heart is not beating in my chest, I can't live.
Right.
If I don't have, if my business, if I don't love my business, if I don't have the passion for my business, it's not thriving on anything. It's not going to be, you're not going to treat it with all the love, the care, the respect that it's needed. You're not going to service it any type of way. So just like how I was, because this is the reason why I went back to it, because I was thinking how I went to the doctor today. Well, I didn't go physically into the doctor. I talked to the doctor through Zoom.
The screen.
And you know, I serviced my body. I serviced my heart right then and there, because I knew something was wrong with my body. I knew, okay, it's been 2 days and I still ain't got no better. It's time to get this taken care of. But in the heart of our business, we noticed that we have, and you said it in the book, we have things that we take for granted in our business. You know, we just, I'm a bypass it. Well, procrastination. Okay, I'm gonna say it. It came into my heart. Procrastination. And we don't handle the task right then and there, and it's like we taking a knife to our heart, like, okay, we're just gonna put a patch over that just right now, and we're gonna keep going, and we're gonna keep going. But just like when a parent complaint, you put a patch over that complaint, you don't even go back to address the complaint or even try to even change it.
Exactly.
And I say this because you have, and I'm gonna get off my childcare owners for a moment. I'm gonna talk to all my business owners, because a lot of you service a lot of people in the community, and you want to know why don't nobody really, you know, represent my business? Don't nobody say anything about my business, or this and that. How are you servicing your own business? How's the heart for your own business? I remember a lady, I was in St. Pete, Florida, and I was sitting there and I was just thinking, sometimes I love the water. So when we was down in St. Pete, we went to a baptism, and we were sitting down, and I was just looking at the water wave, and I'm a water baby. I love looking at the water. I love being at the beach. It helps me clear my mind. It helps me start thinking of things, renewing and refreshing my mind. So I'm sitting there, and we came up, we was getting ready to eat, and a lady out of nowhere just come and start talking to me. Pearly, on my forehead I have, share your ideas with me. So she just randomly just came. She was like, "What do you do for a living?" And I was like, okay, well, I'm a business. She said, what type of business? So I started sharing. I was like, I own an educational system. You know, I own an educational store. I own a daycare. She said, which one is more successful? I said, both of them successful. She said, okay, I like how you think. And I'm like, who is this lady? Why is she talking to me? Then she started holding my hands. I was like, okay, now I'm real. It's weird. It got real fast. So I was like, okay. She said, nobody's going to take your business serious until you start taking your business serious. She said, nobody's going to start loving and liking your business until you start loving your business. And she said, when I mean by loving it, she said, I know. She said, you like you got a husband because you got some rocks on your hands. She called my rings rocks. So I was like, yeah. She said, just like you love that husband, You got to love that business. Just like you love them kids, you got to love that business.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was reading this on a plane, and my mind just started traveling, y'all. So you got to stick with me. I look at it, when your business start getting sick, we got to reach out to a coach, to a mentor. We got to start gathering what is hemorrhaging my business. When
Absolutely.
2019, when I started seeing a financial difference, when my finances was shot to the curve, I knew I needed a financial coach. I needed some guidance. I needed more wisdom to help me carry this business. I could have gave up.
Right.
But see,
That's
the
right.
heart of my business, it wasn't pumping the way my heart needed to be pumped. It was like literally, I need a whole CPR moment. That's how I thought about it. Like somebody come and help me right then and there. And I invest. I
That's right.
invest into a mentor. I invest into a childcare coach. I invest into a financial coach. I sat down and I seen what the I love how my coach is doing the doctor and I'm probably messing up. Oh, I hope I'm not messing up. It's like the doctor suit, and she got the prescription pad, and she's like, I'm finna diagnose your business.
Yep.
I'm finna give you a prescription and help your business survive in this next, because everybody worried about COVID peeking its head back around. But what is your customer service gonna look like?
Exactly.
If we didn't learn anything from the last COVID, the last thing that went around, we should learn now that any day now we can go back to where we're back inside our house.
Right.
So
Right.
what is the heart of your business? How is it pumping?
Mm-hmm.
Is it pumping at a 5%, a 10%? If it's pumping in them low numbers, you need to get this book, baby. It's right there on the screen. That's where you can go order it. You need to go get your customer service coach. She right there, Francis Davis. Booker.
Listen, everything you just said was on point, LaShawn. I love, and let me say this real quick, because I have to. I'm always going to give props to my coach, and because she deserves it. So one of the things that was holding me up from pushing through the book was the first chapter. I was good with everything else, but that first chapter was holding me up because I knew from experience that if I did not explain what it meant to serve, what serving actually means, and that you have to give from your heart, then all of this other stuff would have just been technical. The reason why I say that is because we have so many protocol that we can follow, so many systems and operations and guidelines. But if our heart is not in it, it's not going to be real. And so I wanted to explain why you had to give from your heart, why you had to teach from your heart, why you had to function from your heart. But that was difficult to do. And so I remember talking to my coach one day, and I explained this to her, and she said, well, Francis, you're just going to have to teach the people about the heart. That's all she said. And I was just like, what? To myself. And I'm like, okay, this is where, and of course I had my meeting time with God, and I was like, how do I do that? She was so on point, because as I began to think and marinate on what she said, I thought about the physical heart. And so we know our heart is a muscle. And like you were saying before, if you do not attend to your heart, say for instance, if you have heart disease, there are signs and symptoms that let you know when something's going on with your heart. If you ignore it, the situation doesn't get better, it gets worse. And so I love the fact that Coach LaShawn was mentioning, she was actually mentioning things that occur that are indicators for you to let you know you got to get a handle on this particular thing, because it's just going to grow, it's going to fester. And then, just like a condition of the heart, it begins to affect other organs. It spreads out. It doesn't go anywhere unless it is treated and you take care of it. Same exact thing with customer service. When you do not attend to your client's needs on a service level, and what I mean by that is exceeding expectations. When you do not exceed expectations, you begin to have a reputation as such. But when your clients know that you're going to exceed expectations, they're always surprised by things that you do because it's out of the norm. You begin to develop a deep business relationship with them, and they don't go anywhere. And if they do happen to go somewhere, they have a conversation with you. If you've ever been in business, I don't care what your business is, and you look up and you don't see that regular customer coming in all the time, and you find out that they're down the street at the other business, there was no relationship. There was none. And so your heart has to be in everything that you are doing. And for people that this doesn't come naturally for, because I'm not sitting here pretending like, oh, everybody knows this. It's something that you have to learn and adapt to. It's some inner work that has to be done. This is not a situation where you can go through, read the page, follow the steps, and expect to have the same outcome if your heart is not in it. This is why the book starts off with dealing with us. Because once you deal with yourself, you'll know what changes you need to make. And then you'll be able to better serve the people that you were sent to serve, the people that are in position to reap from you, to learn from you, to partner with you. You'll be in a better position when you checked your own heart. And so I love the fact that you brought that up. Yes, your heart.
I just thought when you was talking about it earlier, I was just like, oh my God, I forgot the first part. Why did it not stick out to me? Because I didn't put my blue sticky note on there. But Tracy said true. See, Tracy is a part of my Be About You business group. Well, we come on in the morning time with inspiration and praise and motivation to get your day started in the business world. Y'all can tell I be saying it so much that there it is, it rolls off my tongue. But we've been reading about the customer service, and we just take out the childcare. We just say the heart of customer service, because any business, any stream of income, which that's the class I taught 2 master classes ago. I have master classes on Sunday, which is free. And we talked about the stream of income, but you can't just get streams of income and don't have the heart and the passion for it. You can't just go, oh, I'm just going ahead and start selling, for instance, some hair, and you don't have the passion to sell hair. You gotta know what's right for you and how you're gonna serve that customer. So that's right, Tracy. Like, yeah, it's true, because we've been talking about this and breaking this down. So real quick, I want to say, this is a great team building book. Okay, you guys. If you are in a book club, if you are in a church ministry, I say this is for churches as well, because some of your customer service that your people at the church board, your ushers and your children church and everything, they need some customer service. That's why some are running away. I'm just gonna tell you the truth. They don't have a great customer service. They don't know how to service the people. And so you wonder why, like she said, why the people are not coming back. It's because we need to figure out what is it that we need to offer. What is something you need to make sure that it's handled, because you might not even know that person didn't like the tone that you set with them, or how things are saying. I'm going into the five C's. I think I'm right. Right into the 5 C's. So the 5 C's is basically chapter 3. She talks about the 5 C's. And y'all, when she was naming these chapters, I was like, the 5 C's. So
it's easy to remember.
I was trying to hurry up and read through the 5 C's. Like, what is the 5 C's? But the first C is children. The second C is clients and customers. The third C is co-workers. The fourth one is contractors and visitors. And the fifth one, which is my favorite, is community. And a lot of people don't understand. Like, well, I service it's a different type of service. That's right. I put on a backpack drive. I do all this, but okay, what are you doing regardless if that doesn't always gotta benefit you?
That's right. That's right.
The
community is your mouthpiece too.
I seen a post. A lady was looking for some diapers, some wipes, and change of clothes, and the lady posted, and I was like, I said, yep, I'm gonna inbox her and say, hey, come by the daycare. I got some wipes, some change of clothes, some this. I don't know what size the child wear, but just come and get it. Come and get it. But we should have that servant's heart always.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna read a little bit about that. It just said the local community is a great way to enhance your business reputation. It's building customer loyalty and being recognized as an employer and provider of choice. Some ways your business can serve its community is by joining local business groups, adapting a local social cause, and becoming a trusted authority. While these actions go way beyond your bottom line, they will also help your bottom line. And let me tell you, I read this to my staff today, because today was our customer service book day. On Wednesdays, I go around and read a chapter. And so some of my staff probably watching this like, Miss LaShawn. But I was telling them, like, and this is just my truth, my transparent moment. When I started looking at my daycare and I noticed that some of my babies are missing, my heart, literally, this is why the heart matters. my heart started being like, okay, what's wrong with Rico? What's wrong with this child? Because I noticed that this child has, even they miss a day or two. I'm not worried about them. I'm not counting the pockets. I'm worried about what is going on with that child, because that child is a part of my community. I need to make sure the parent is okay. I'm making sure the whole household is okay. It might be like, oh no, you being nosy. No, I'm making sure that that child that I service every day, Monday through Friday, and some of them I talk to on the weekend, that child is being taken care of. Because my bottom line is, once that parent see that I care for little Rico, that I'm doing this, she's gonna tell everybody about my business. So now I have returning customers. Now I have more customers.
That's right. That's right. You know what you just described, because I last year, or was the beginning of this year, I created a product about the customer journey, the customer journey map. Part of that map has 8 steps. The very last step is ambassador. So it takes you from making the community aware and other individuals aware of who you are. That's step 1. And it goes all the way to ambassador, which is step 8. When you get to that step where you now have ambassadors, you have walking marketing. That's what they become. That's what you just said. She is telling other people about you, but not just in passing. She is passionately telling other people about the services that you provide to her, because you have tapped into her life and her family and her heart in a way that some businesses don't do, that choose not to do that. You are showing her that I'm your support system. And for a lot of parents, that's what their child care facility or provider becomes, is a support system for them. And when you take on the role of a support system, you interact in a different way, you know, with the people that you are serving. And so that makes a huge, huge difference, LaShawn. And I'm glad that you mentioned that, because sometimes we think that when 5 or 6 o'clock comes, we shut off. And in some ways we do, and we should, but at the end of the day, you can't, you know,
really can't.
It's just not in your heart to do it. You know, if
I told my husband today, the phone was ringing, because most of the calls, if they can't answer it at the daycare, it routes to my iPhone. And I took my medicine, like my doctor told me. He said, go lay down, take your medicine. You should feel good to do your podcast later. I said, okay. So I did what he told me to do. So my phone started going zzz, zzz, zzz. My husband said, that's the iPhone. I said, let it ring. Let it ring. I had to force myself to, and it's so hard, because you're like, oh my God, is that one of my parents? Is there something going on at the daycare? I believe in God, and God is going to protect that business, baby. Right now, Miss Carter is not her best if I don't get my heart back to where I need to go. So I got to stay healthy. I got to get healthy. So I had to unplug, and it's okay. Let me business owners, I want you to tell yourself right now, it's okay.
That's right. And let me unplug. Let me follow behind you in saying that, because what I don't hope is someone heard what we just said and took that to mean I've got to be on 24/7. You absolutely don't. But as a business owner, you know that it is valuable for you and your business to put measures in place to take care of your customers and your clients when you're not able to. So while we aren't able to be there 24/7, have we taken time to build our customer service system in our businesses to serve our clients when we are not available, or when we're off, or when we're choosing to do something else? And so it's just a matter of being prepared. No matter what type of business you have, you know you have customers, and there needs to be a system created to assist them when you're not available. If you are the only one that can assist your customers, something's wrong. Something's out of.
Woo. And that's why I was like, I'm training now somebody to basically to start answering my phones, or you know, if I'm not in place, I'm not giving them a script. I listen to how they answer my phones now. I listen to how things are said, and now I'm gonna start I'm getting to where I'm gonna put a phone in this room, a phone in that room, a phone over there, a phone over there. I'm gonna put a phone everywhere, and it's just gonna have where everybody feel comfortable with answering the phone, and they basically a little me running around. And now I'm not gonna say you're gonna have to be as jolly as I am, because I know I've been extra and excited and whatever, but just follow and just make it your own to where you feel comfortable. And so when I was talking to them about the customer service journey today and reading this book with my staff, a lot of them was like, man, I can't do what you do. I was like, yes, you can. Now, a lot of y'all, you see behind the scenes, like being a business owner is. I hope I don't make it look as rough. I hope I make it look a little easy. But that she was just saying, the worker, one of the workers, she was just saying like, no, just like how much you have to do day, like this got to be. She said, I see why you on a set schedule for everything, and why you have us like so planned out. Like everything has to be planned out. I'll be like, no, today is. We're talking about customer journey day. We're talking about this, and this. And I don't want to talk about anything else. Anything else is not going on this table. And I told her, I said, I had to train myself that way.
Yeah.
I said, even when it came to customer service, my first job was working at Arby's. And well, I'll take that back. I worked at Inner City Ministry as a toddler teacher. So if you can deal with toddlers at the age of 12, you got a great job. But I started at Arby's as the customer service lady. I was going around making sure everybody was okay in the Arby's, and they never gave me a script. They never gave me anything else, but nobody ever checked on me. Nobody ever checked on me as the employee. Nobody ever asked me, was I okay? Was everything okay with me? So what I started doing is going around daily and check on my staff. Are you okay? Is everything all right? I'm not getting into your personal business because we're going to talk about it because she put it in the book. Leave personal issues in the car. Leave it at the door. And so I read that to my business about your business clients. And I told them, I said, this is funny to me because I had just told one of my workers this. I said, baby, I know it hurts. But when you clocked in over there at that time clock, you on Tiny Tiger's time. We can schedule a session after Tiny Tiger's time and we can talk about it. But if it's going to affect your job performance, then you can just go ahead and clock out for the rest of the day. And you're not getting paid for it. But we're not going to bring your energy,
that's right,
that negativity into the center, and it affects everybody's vibe in here.
Exactly.
And you talked about it, and I said, "Oh yeah, I didn't even read this part of the book." And she was talking. She was talking about me leaving your personal problem at the door, and also with your. Let me say this with your clients when they getting their hair done, getting their nails done. I know my beautician. She probably be like, "Girl, you have the best stories," because I keep people laughing. But I tell the truth. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm not. I'm just gonna be like, look, honey, this is what I got going on. But I'm not there for a sob story because you never know who else is going through that same situation and needed some guidance or anything at that moment. But when I start feeling like I'm ranting or complaining, because you talked about it, I did. Are you a complainer?
Chronic.
Are you a chronic complainer? Ask yourself that. Every time you pick up the phone, you always complaining.
Right. Is it your default language? And even in the book, and I hope that it was received in this way for those who read it. Even in the book, I talk about chronic complainers because they're different from a typical or regular complainer. A chronic complainer may not even realize that they are a chronic complainer because they've wired their brain to complain. Their brain is now wired so that is their language. And so I talk about tips and techniques that you can use to help reach that person. Don't throw them away. But now it might be some time, especially if you're in leadership, to begin to integrate certain behaviors or experiences for that person. And if you're not aware that you might be a chronic complainer, we talk about that in the book as well. And so you're right. But at the end of the day, something's got to be done. We cannot allow a chronic complainer to continue to, push cancer.
When I read that, Coach Francis, I was like, oh my God. I realized like from January to probably April, I probably was a chronic complainer. Can I be transparent for a moment? Like,
yes.
I probably was a chronic complainer. I feel like my therapist need a therapist. She probably watching me live. I tell you that all the time when we talk. You probably need a therapist sometimes. But I say that because I had so much going on. And it's a difference between, let me say this. It's a difference between venting and being a chronic complainer.
Absolutely.
Because you can vent to someone like Tracy, that's my homegirl. That love her to death. Tracy, know I love her. And if I ever going through something, I call Tracy and be like, Tracy, this is what I'm going through. Or Coach, I don't call her Coach Francis. Y'all do. Francis.
Yeah.
Francis.
Right.
I'd be like, okay, I'm frustrated. Maybe I didn't understand this the right way, or maybe I came off the wrong way. And sometimes we look at it, we got to have another set of eyes to look at stuff to where it's like, you're not being a complainer. You're not getting on my nerves. You know, I'm here to help you, sister. I'm here to help you thrive to get this done. And so when she was listing the steps of dealing with a chronic complainer, listen for the needs. That's one thing. Like if you got a running faucet of a friend, that's an old saying. Y'all know the grandma used to say, don't be dead, don't be go over there telling that running faucet. All they doing is running the faucet and telling everybody else your business.
Right.
You need to find somebody that's gonna give you a real true information.
That's right.
My friends, my family, most of them be like, don't talk to Sean if you don't want the truth. Because I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna say,
absolutely.
No, you was dead wrong. No, my friend. And some relationships I have killed because of my truth. Because I'm just too real for some people. I'm too real. If I don't like something, I don't agree with it. No, you're wrong. And they like, oh, how dare you? You're gonna agree with this person? No, I'm not agreeing with that person. But
I love that you're saying that, because I've been teaching about tact, and so everything you're saying.
I have, and some of my friends, I have to be like, you just gotta chill out. You know, you gotta calm down. Even my own husband, he's like, look, when he starts saying LaShawn and not Sean, I'm like, okay, I'm too much. I did too much. Okay, you know, but it's just because I don't.
It is a fine line. It is, and I agree with what you're saying. It's a fine line between honesty and tact, and so learning to kind of merge the two together are going to be so important for relationships. But you do want somebody on your team that's going to tell you the truth, for sure. That's necessary.
Like, don't sugarcoat it. Like, always, if I am a complainer, and that's the same with my son, my staff, I'll be like, baby, you always bringing me complaints. What's the solution? I start answering my phone like this. What's the solution for today? And they be like,
that's
what?
It right there. And you can even go as far as having and you don't necessarily need to call it a complaint box, but if you have a place where, you know, our team members can go if they have a question about something, or if they have, you know, some type of pressing issue, where they can write it out, drop it in the box, and you or your leaders go back and actually take those things to heart and talk about them, and set aside some time to have a roundtable discussion about that. It is so important to do that, because people do want to be heard. I talk about this even in the ABCs of customer service. If you're going to complain about something, the only time I have an issue with it, if there is no talk about a solution. Because if you don't talk about a solution, essentially what you're doing is just making noise. And we don't have time for that when we're operating a business. We only have time for solution-driven experiences, and that's it. So those things are so important to remember when others are leading. And you know, I know I said this in the book, but if you are listening to this and you're in a situation where you're like asking yourself the question, am I a chronic complainer? Ask your team, bring your team in. This is why I love questionnaires, because it gives somebody an opportunity to say, you know what, this is what I see separately from you. It could be anonymous. And once you get all of those, once you get the poll information in, the results in, you can really sit down and have a heart to heart and do a self-assessment as a leader. And when your team sees that that's important to you, they're growing and changing is important to you, they will see it as important for themselves. And so our teams are always learning from watching us, and whatever it is there. This is not one of those situations where you do as I say, not as I do. I don't agree with that statement at all. Not only when raising children, but also when you are leading a team. You need to be able to learn why we're saying to do these things. And you need to see me doing those things also, because that's how trust will be built. That's how you develop a team that you can activate to actually execute what you said to do. So it's so much more to that. But
I'm over here like, because I say one of the things that I focused on this year, I took some time this year and stop a lot of my coaching programs. So I really needed to focus on everything that I have you ever just heard like information like overhaul and
Yes.
you never implement? Sorry for my dogs, y'all.
You are fine.
But I never got the time to kind of implement a lot of things. It was so exciting to get the information in, but I never had the time to actually like put it into actions to see if it really effectively made some change. Like we'll do a little policy here or a little policy there, and we got to stay consistent. That's one thing I did
Yes.
read in your book about being consistent. And so some people don't like change, and I noticed that like when I started changing some things, and I was like, that was so used to hearing my coach so much because I'll be doing a coaching call, so I'm replaying like videos and stuff. They were like, "Oh, she ain't coaching no more. She ain't doing this." Oh, they thought it was laid back season, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. So what I started doing is like staying connected by doing the videos and staying connected with the YouTube and just pulling out my notebooks and it really implementing a lot of things to change.
Right.
So one thing I did was the surveys. I started sending out surveys to my clients, to my staff members, even my ex-staff members. Like, what is it? And even myself, I had to pin some pain points on myself. What did I do inside of my company was it anything that I could have done better to enhance your stay here? You know, sometimes we don't want to talk about ourselves.
That's right.
We think we're the best boss in America, but really and truly, it's some things that we slack. And we don't understand when we are venting about a parent complaint or venting about this, that staff member took that as, oh, she real negative. Oh, she real, you don't know how they took it. And some people be like, I don't care how they took it, but it really does affect that job performance.
It does. And let me say this real quick. I love what you just said. Let me tell you why. Because I would always discourage anyone from complaining in general in front of your employees, especially about the people that you're all serving. And the reason for that is because not only will they think that you're negative, like you just said, but they'll also look at you and think, oh, you know what? Well, I'm going to start talking about my coworkers. I'm going to start talking about the parents too. And it will get to this place that is now uncontrollable for you. And so this goes back to what we just said. And that is you're learning from watching me all day long. And so when you see me complaining, when you see me lose my cool, and I'm not saying that those things don't happen, but as a person who is able to self-regulate, which is something we teach children to do, we teach children to self-regulate. So we need to be able to self-regulate. If I feel heat rising, if I feel like I'm about to explode, I need to excuse myself. I'm not just going to let it all out because that is not a good move when you are a leader. And so, yes, if your staff sees you complaining about the people that are paying you, they're going to lose respect, not only for you, but for the clients. And guess what? Their behavior and their attitude toward them and their work and what they're producing is going to be rotten fruit because that's what they're getting from us as the leader. And so, yes, ma'am, you're on point.
I just, man, I feel like we're gonna have to have a part two. I don't. Once I finish this book, I'm gonna be like, Coach Francis, it's time for us to do a part two because a lot of we got Tracy and Miss Kathy that comes in, and since I have my two friends that's on live that's coming, and do y'all want something from the gas station? I'm gonna give y'all 2 customer service books for free from the gas station. They ain't at the gas station, but y'all got 2 books. Inbox me, send me your email, your address, or whatever, and I'm gonna send you 2 books.
It's amazing.
I'm gonna send you a book a piece. Since y'all are commenting and saying things and keeping us active, I thank y'all so very much, Sister Kathy, Miss Sister Kathy. I'm so churchy. It said keeping a great composure is the key, and that's why I said I had to learn. And this is me learning, you guys. Like I don't have the best customer service. Sometimes I be about ready to go hood. Some days I be like, oh Lord, you tried Jesus. You didn't try Jesus. You chose balance. That's my new word for the whole year of 2023, baby. I be like real quick. You woke up and chose balance, and you didn't choose Jesus.
Oh my goodness.
And that's just me being like, I don't want to take it there, but you about to make me take it there. So I'm gonna choose Jesus while you choosing balance. And I just excuse myself from the whole conversation or whatever is going on. Because it ain't nothing is gonna be resolved if both of us is yelling or both of us is. Let me let you calm down, gather your thoughts, and I come back into the room.
That's right. And you know what I think is so powerful LaShawn, is that when I'm in what could be a sensitive or heated interaction with someone, say they don't know how to keep their cool, they don't understand what that means, and they want to what do the kids say now? Pop off.
Yep.
Let's say you're in a situation with someone like that. It is for me almost like a superpower to deflate that situation with techniques and with tools that I can use. And so to see that person transform from being on 100 to now being at an even level, they have adopted my energy instead of me adopting their energy. There's something to be said about that. And so even if you begin to, and I tell people, even if you begin to practice this as a science experiment, do it. The more that you do it, the easier it will become, and it will be known, you'll be known as the person who calms situations, because people will begin to realize, I'm not going to be able to get her off of her stool. I'm not going to be able to get her off of her space where she resides. So I might as well just come in and be agreeable. And I know that to be true even for myself. People that talk to individuals one way, they will speak to you in a whole different way because you taught them how to treat you. And
Oh,
so those things are so important.
Tracy said, absolutely, yes.
Mhm.
And I was talking to a staff member today about that. I was like, I said, people only treat you how you allowed to let them treat, how you allow them to
You
talk.
teach them.
And I said,
Exactly.
the reason why the parents feel so comfortable coming and talk to me is because one, I probably done toured them. I'm talking to them on the phone and they like, I loved her personality. Who don't like LaShawn Carter? If you don't,
Who?
that's your problem. But get with God, girl. Get with God. But I'm just a lovable person. Yes, I have bad days.
You
I have
are.
good days. But my whole thing is like we are human beings. We're gonna mess up. We're not gonna be perfect all the time. But like she just said, when you catch yourself falling into that trap to where you want me to get upset. And
Yes.
I tell people every time, you could have got me my first year in childcare. You could have got me my second year. But now, baby, I'm about in my 8th year of childcare. You can't get me no more.
No.
I know the tricks. I know everything that you're trying to do,
Mhm,
baby.
mhm.
Now, what I'm gonna do is move.
Time tested.
Let me move over here. Let me go
Mhm.
over here and get my prayer journal and pray about it and move
Right.
on. Because it's not gonna, even with, like I tell people, when you exiting people out your business, from staff, from anything that leave on a good term. Don't bad talk that staff member. Don't do all that.
Mm-mm.
That's not necessary. Show good
Right.
customer service. That's why you should be getting their testimonies while they there at your job now.
Regular. That's actually part of your customer service system. Like there's a
You talk
whole
about it.
map that I use where, if someone is not well versed in how to do this, there's a whole calendar system that I work with clients on where to interject surveys. At what point do we do this? When am I supposed to do this? 3 months from now, 4 months from now? Like sometimes we don't have time to think about those things, and that's why building out or getting access to those systems are going to serve us well. We cannot rely on ourselves to know and do everything. And LaShawn just said that earlier. You've got to have a team. Who is your team? Who are the individuals that help you do what you do? I would not for a minute depend on myself to do everything.
Sweet.
Absolutely not. You know why? Because I care about myself. And
Right.
that's what we should all feel as leaders. We should care about ourselves enough to know that not only do we have to make the pathway clear for those following us, I've got to figure out how to make sure the path I'm following is clear. Who am I connected to? Because the
Mhm.
people behind me, the people following me, they are depending on me to be in my right mind. And if I'm pretending like I have everything and I'm just doing things willy nilly, I'm just watching to see what I'll throw up, where it's going to fall in my business, then I'm setting myself up and my team members up for failure, and my parents
Mhm.
who are depending on me as well. So it just again goes back to an inward work that we have to do, like a serious one. And sometimes we have to bring someone in to help us have conversations that we really don't want to have with ourselves, but it's necessary in order to get past the place that we are. We cannot expect to move to another level if we have not dealt with the issues on this level. And like you said
Mhm.
before, sometimes that means bringing an expert in.
And so that's why you need to hire Coach Francis Davis to help you
Oh,
with your customer journey. Okay. Like,
yeah,
seriously, if
I'm
you
prepared.
haven't really thought about how is my customer service set up,
Mhm.
and again, this say childcare, but I want you to take the childcare off of it. I told my coach that once a lot of things that you do can help other businesses. It ain't just childcare. It can
Absolutely.
literally help. I got streams of businesses, and I take everything I learned from in my coaching programs, learning from Coach Francis, Professor Reed, everybody that I don't work
Mhm.
with, Pastor K, financial coach advisor.
Absolutely.
I take what they have and I use it to my next what's in my businesses that I have, because everything I'm leveling. I'm leveling up in every
Mhm.
part. And I didn't have a great customer service rep. When I was looking on my Google reviews, I know a lot of you, if you're not a part of the Be About You business, we talked about this. Like,
Mhm.
every now and then, take a day when you go look at your Google reviews, look at
That's
your back
right.
office work of your Google analysts, and see how's my business rating on Google? How am I rated on my reviews?
That's
That's when you
right.
need to really be looking like, okay, I need some parents to send out some testimonies, because I do a
Mhm.
great job catching them videos of when them parents walking in talking about, Miss Carter, she did this, this, and this today. She did what? Hold on, give me one moment. Hold on, let me set myself up. She did what? And go. you know, and some of my parents be like, oh my God, we gotta record everything. Yes, everything,
Yes, everything should be
everything. So
recorded.
that day when you get mad at me because I tell you no, I'm gonna do just like this. But you just said we did a fabulous job. A
Uh-huh.
fabulous job just
You were
2 months ago.
fantastic.
We was
You really hyped
awesome.
us up. And
But
sometimes I'll hear people say, "Well, I don't know what to say or what to ask." In my coaching program, the surveys are done for you. You don't have to figure out anything. And here's the other thing that I will say about that. When you set it up in a system, like your customer service system, when you have that prospective parent come in, you already have an email blast ready to go to them with a survey. And from that point of their journey on, when they become new customers, there's another email blast with a survey. So it's not like you have to put yourself in a situation to feel awkward about asking questions. Set your systems up to automatically do that for you. That information is like gold. Those survey answers and responses are like having gold in the bank, because you have no idea how much money it will save you, how much it will help you to earn just from the information that an outsider will share with you. We don't see it from all angles. Now we need to set up things to be able to do that, but at the end of the day, we're not actually receiving the care that we're giving. And so it's important for us to know how that care is being received, how that interaction is being understood. How was my tone? What about my body language? Oh, I don't even know about body language. We need to learn about body language and the fact that your body talks louder than you do. And so it's important for all service industry leaders, team members, staff members, whoever's working with you, to understand how they communicate inside and outside. And so there's so much to learn about that. But like you said with the book, and the book is not even that big, y'all. And that's because the concepts are important for you to dive into on a deeper level, and also to get assistance because it's a lot.
it is, but and I told her, I said, we was privately chatting. I said, baby, this a part two. This a whole classroom.
Yeah,
This is a
it
whole
is for
conference.
real.
This is a whole training within itself to just sit
Yeah.
down and with this book. And that's why I said it's great to pick up this book for your next girls' night out, whatever you're gonna have. And you like, it
Mhm.
might sound crazy, but even if you work for somebody, you're not, oh, okay, girl, I don't own my own
Yeah.
business. Well, you can help that supervisor who you
It's for
working
every.
with
Hmm.
build a better customer service. Like, hey, I noticed we're not doing some of the things that I picked up this book from a young lady that was talking about on the podcast, and I noticed
Hmm.
that some of the things that she was in here stating, we need to work towards. This can be a
That's right.
goal. This can be a goal
Absolutely.
for a company. That how y'all think a lot of these franchise and a lot of these bigger company brands working? They have a customer service handbook. Some of them
Yeah.
don't. Some of them do just
And you
wing.
can tell the difference. You can tell when somebody is living off of a script when they interact with you, or if it's actually in their heart. There's nothing against scripts. I love scripts, like I said in the book, and I actually give some away in the book. But if you can tell that I'm reading, then the words aren't in my heart. And so I need training. I need time to be able to develop that. I can't just push a script to my team member and expect them to flow. It's got to get on the inside of them. And that's why training is so important, regular training on a regular basis, especially when it comes to customer service. It's something that you cannot overlook and expect some miraculous, change in your business unless you've taken time to work this system, work this program, work your customer service protocol. It takes time from beginning, before you hire, during your pre-onboarding, start interjecting customer service techniques, expectations through the way that you deliver your information. It's important to them.
And I know we don't went over our time, but I love talking to my sister, and y'all can't have her, but it's okay. Because we didn't get to talking about your HR. That's your new baby that you're getting ready to come out with,
Yes.
right?
Oh my
So
goodness.
tell them a little bit about your HR, the new baby that you're about to come out.
Thank you so much for letting me talk about that. So when I tell you, this has been literally like my baby. So HR, human resources in business, is important. If you worked in corporate or any business, pretty much, there's always an HR department because there has to be an area that is set up for you as the employee, for your needs, for training, for your hiring, for your onboarding. There should be a separate area that handles that. Now, I discovered in childcare, with childcare daycares I interacted with going to trainings, nobody talked about this. And so over time, I realized through certain things that were happening that I needed to have a dedicated place for my employees to be able to log on apart from me, get forms that they needed, answer questions, read about things, have a portal where if I see that they needed some assistance in a particular area that I thought I taught in and they weren't getting it, I needed a place to send you. Okay, well, go check out module XYZ in the training because you don't have time to be everywhere. There needs to be a dedicated place. And so what I noticed was that no one was teaching about HR specifically. And so I spent some time putting together at this point, I think it's like 75 different forms that's a part of this HR kit that cover every single area that you would need. There are videos in the kit. There are resources in the kit, free resources in the kit. Like the kit has a certificate when you're done for your professional training hours. There is so much packed into this kit. It is crazy.
So I'm buying the kit, right? So I'm already
when I tell you this kit is everything to me, and I wish that I would have had it when I was operating my business. I started it, but I did not go to the degree that I've gone this time. And I keep adding to it. And so the kit is a part of my academy, Serving Success in Childcare, which means every time I upload a new form or a new video, when you've purchased it, it belongs to you and you will see the updates every time there's an update. And so it's not like something you can download it, but it's not like a kit that you receive and it's just some papers. No, I needed to make it a situation where it would be editable for you, because what you see more than likely will need to be changed and you'll need to put your logo on everything. And so it's set up in a way that's going to help you immediately execute everything that you need to execute in your program pertaining to human resources. Those people that work for us are human resources, and we need to set aside a separate area that will attend to their needs, not only because we need to be in compliance, like that's a big piece of it, but also because we care about their journey and their development while they're with us. Because if they leave you and go somewhere else, and that somewhere else finds out that they worked for you, they want to say, oh yeah, you come on over here. I know you got your stuff together. I know that you're going to be a great employee. That's how I want others to respond to my team members who leave me either because they're elevating or they're going into a different area. Whatever it is they're doing, it's going to be a good change for them. And the whole time they're with us, we've kept track of their development. We've kept track of their portfolios. Like we teach all of that. So I don't even have enough time to talk about that HR.
I know you're going to come back on here and talk about your HR. As soon as I purchase that portion, I'm coming back on and we're going to talk about it. Because you're right. It's a lot of things that in the childcare industry that doesn't be, that HR is like, we talk
and
about.
there are forms you haven't heard of. There are forms in there that we don't use or we haven't heard of. We don't even know we should be using them. I put them in.
Right. Because I think I'm not going to talk about it, but I know you told me about a form that I should have in my business. And I was like, Francis, we don't have to have all that. I don't understand it, But then when you
Look, you're
sent
doing
it
too
to me,
much.
I know. But I tell you the truth. I'm like, I don't have to have all that, Francis.
What is that?
What is this? And because I had asked her, I said, they want a distinct evacuation plan. And Francis helped me with my evacuation preparedness plan because everybody's was so broad. And I was like, Francis, can you help me with this evacuation preparedness plan? Y'all, she sent me this book. I say, Francis, you don't have to have all this. Like, it's not that in deep, my friend. But I read through it. I was like, oh my God, she did all this.
Detail.
It was like so detailed, y'all, that I was like, I made a mistake and left some of her stuff in there. And I was like, oh my God, my old license counselor was like, what is this stairwell thing? Because I don't have, right. And who is building blocks? But it was so much I didn't get to go through and kind of like move some stuff and put it in there, but it helps me to really start putting a foundation for my evacuation plan. Right. Also, like with the HR policies, we try to do all the hats. We try to wear everything. And it's like, okay, you gotta have that coach that is right there with you. That's why I said yes. Hire Coach Francis to help you with that HR stuff, that customer service stuff.
Absolutely.
Because you can't wear all the hats. You can Google some things, but Google ain't gonna tell you everything, baby.
It's not gonna hold your hand. Google's not gonna walk along with you. And that's why having your team, build your team. Whoever's on your team is there to support you in your growth and is invested in your growth. Like when somebody is connected to me and they're growing with the things that are in my heart to do, that means a lot to me. I take that personally.
Yes. And then find you one of them staff members that is really passionate about customer service. So I have about 2 ladies that I've been looking at that does a real good job with greeting my parents, like making sure everybody in the center is okay, including myself. Today, I just was not my best. And she was like, are you going to be okay? Like, you might just need to go home for the day. I wish that's an option. I got a meeting I got to do. And she was like, we're good here. Everybody's in ratio. You can go home. Really, I think she thought I was contagious and just didn't want me to be. But I love that she was even just checking on us. Have you ate today? Have you? I said, yes, I'm eating. So I've been keeping my eye on two ladies that I see that yes, I'm gonna put them in the customer service program to actually just go through that alone. Like you don't.
And there's a whole form that I have about that. When you detect a leader, there's a certain process that you really want to go through to make sure they're successful when they do accept the role. And so that's another form or level of information that we need. Because sometimes we would just put people in places without doing that, without vetting them, without making sure they were qualified. It's just because we knew them for years. But that's doing them a disservice by not giving them another interview before they move on to a leadership role. Like we really have to treat it like it's serious. And just so based on what you just said, for anybody listening, I offer 2 different packages when it comes to coaching. That's private and group. Here's how group works. If you do hire me to group coach, I will work directly with those team members so that you don't even have to be there. You would just write down what your goals are and I'll work with them directly on customer service. And so taking things off your plate is what I love to do.
And so that's what I told my staff today. I was like, I am going to start. This was my year to invest more into you guys, more into, I love working with my coaches. I miss doing it. I miss my group meetings on Saturdays and having something to do, just like, oh my God, I'm meeting with other educators. I get to sit down and listen to what they got going on in the world besides my own little world. But I said, this is my time to invest more into you guys. So that way, everything that you're gonna know that, hey, you're not the only one. We went to Orlando this year with a few new staff members, and I love how we connected with other childcare owners, and we talked about the the good and the bad and the solutions that we can bring to uplift the childcare community. And so it wasn't how most people be like, oh, it was just a bad session. No, it wasn't. It was more. What my staff took from that was like, we're not the only one that got problems. I was like, no, it's other people that got problems too, but they was just more like, I really liked it that. I really liked it to talk to other people that's in this industry that are working.
To see another perspective.
Yes. And so I told them, I said, well, the next childcare conference, we'll do it based off like merits. So now I set up like different things. Say if Tracy was one of my staff members, she didn't call out, she didn't do this. In the next childcare conference, I'll pay her ticket to go to that next childcare conference. You know, just so that way they can, I'm not just the only one getting the knowledge. They also getting the knowledge. They're also
and you're giving incentive to do it. That's awesome. We have a whole point system in the HR kit for people who are interested in doing point systems.
When is this HR kit gonna be available? When is this HR kit gonna be available?
It's available now.
Oh, it's available now,
it's
baby.
Been available for a month.
HR kit. He's in there cooking dinner. He's not paying me no attention. He's not paying me any attention. I'm gonna leave him alone because we need dinner tonight. But,
I know, right? Leave LC alone.
But I feel like seriously, you guys, we don't talk about this enough with the HR piece.
Yep.
And having that HR is very, very important. Licensing is not gonna tell you about to have your HR stuff in compliance. No, most people that I work with, childcare clients that I have that I service, I'd be like, so what is your policy on this? And what is your handbook? And how is this? And I read through a lot of people's handbooks. Updating that handbook is important. I feel like I updated that handbook every other month. Shout out to Miss Tori Robinson, my virtual assistant. I know her fingers hurt sometimes when I like, got a new policy.
I'm sure she can handle it.
She does. She's quick with it. And so, like when you was talking about the uniforms in the book, and I was like, Coach Francis said something about that uniform. I took a piece of your book, put it in there, and saying the reason why we should dress professionally is because boom, 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 boom. And I made it bullet point.
Absolutely.
Because we've come up with an HR policy of why they should wear the uniform. But then when they see you coming in there with Daisy Dukes on, tank tops on, and you're not dressed professionally as a supervisor, and you're not looking the part, that's not going according to your HR policy.
Not at all. And what I'm saying is that I'm more valuable than you. When I do the opposite of what I tell you, that's the message that I'm actually sending, is that I have a certain level of whatever it is I think I have over you. And that's why doing that is sending a bad message. In the HR kit, I actually give the uniform policy and procedures. So everything's in there for someone who doesn't know how to transition to that. Because in the name alone, uniform, that's what you want for your entire program. You want uniformity. Like, that's important. So it's in the name.
I made the comment. I said, now what if the president was to come by here and we all looking all different types of uniforms? Nobody got on a Tiny Tiger shirt. Everybody look, and they say, let's take a picture. You know who the people I'm gonna point out? Everybody got on a Tiny Tiger shirt. You come take this picture. Everybody else, you miss your opportunity. You miss your opportunity.
That's it.
What if Oprah Winfrey come back? Because I swear, little Oprah sometimes. What if she come by and ask me to be on her talk show one day? You don't never know. I might be on little Oprah's house show. Now you don't miss your opportunity because you're not wearing your brand.
That's right.
Not only that, Christina, I don't know if she's on. She's one of my biggest referrals. Like, baby, she plays the referral game very well.
Wow.
She would have her work shirt on. Last week, she tried to enroll 6 kids. We over capacity, baby. Don't enroll nobody else. Cool. But I love the hustle. I love the drive. And she said, all they see was my work shirt on. And I'm up here minding my business. And the woman said, hey, where's that daycare located? And she told her, and she said, well, do she got room for a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old? This is her calling Miss Amy, saying, hey, I'm up here right now, and I got a lady that want to enroll. She got, what's the ages of the kids? I said, tell her no. No. And so, Miss Amy, we always enrolling. Remember? We always do. I'll be like, yes, I did say that. I have to break
see how she repeated back what you taught her. I love it. That is awesome, Miss Amy.
But it's just that now they know, because they in a different portion of leadership. So I had them in a different part of a leadership class that I teach. And I'll tell them, I said, we always enrolling. We always having a waiting list. We always accepting new kids. You just take that information down. So she was training Christina how to do everything. She was like, hey, okay, get their information, pass out some cards. So the first thing that popped in my head, and this can be an idea for you guys out there, give your staff their own business cards.
Absolutely. That's what I was just getting ready to say. Your ambassador cards. Now
Christina can have her own ambassador cards. That's to where she say, leave me a 5-star review on the back or come tour my classroom. I am the pre-K coordinator, whatever it is. You get them that title and somebody see them nice business cards. Absolutely. Oh, they definitely going to enroll. They definitely going to come to you.
That's
That's
that's the truth. I love that. We did that, and the name of the person giving them out was on the ambassador card, and it was attached to a gift. Bring this gift in when you do your tour or when you interact with the specialist tour specialist. Give that card to them. Then we'll know who referred them because the person's name is on the card. And
yes,
so,
and I was like, I was sitting in my chair. I was like, uh-oh,
yeah,
here I come, Vista Print. Here I come. Because I'm finna get ready. Because they
yes,
all took head photo. They all got headshots. So that I got through some
I
great
love
headshots.
it.
So, and shout out to our website designer and flyer guy, Mr. LC Carter.
Yes,
So,
shout out
I,
Elsie. He's
yes.
the
So
MVP.
yes, he is. Yeah, I can't do this without my husband. So,
Mm-mm.
but I said I'm gonna get them some cards made. That's gonna be
Yeah,
some things that they'll be able to take with them when they're on the road and when they're out and about, just talking to people about the love of
absolutely.
their job, because
Mhm.
they have to. That's how they get paid. I tell them all the time. I
That's
said the way
right.
you get paid is the way the enrollment is here. If
Hmm.
it ain't no enrollment, I can't pay you.
And when you have those talks with your team, things start connecting. So I love the fact that you have those real conversations with them. That's
Yeah,
necessary, and it shows that we care. I really want you to
yeah.
know how I need you to push my vision. So I'm going to be transparent with you with a lot of things, not everything, but with some things we can be transparent. So yeah, I love that.
Because a lot of them want to be successful business owners themselves. Secretly,
Hmm.
they don't tell people like, yeah, I really want to run up my own daycare one day. But secretly they
Right.
do. Or they secretly want to run their own business, but they really watching how you service the people.
That's
How's your customer service? How are you responding to things that goes wrong in your business? How are you reacting to when somebody's cussing you out and you like, are you cussing right back out? Or are you just like, oh,
exactly.
hey, like today is that day? I'll say, talk to me Tuesday. It's like everybody got to have something come at me on Tuesday. This Buffalo Wild Wing night. Do I need to give y'all some Buffalo Wild Wings? Because everybody want to come to me Tuesday. It's like, okay, come for me Tuesday. So I sit down and I be like, what is the solution?
Yeah.
And it be like little things. Like I tell my client, I tell my staff members, when you think about it, sometimes the problem is not even you, it's something else, and you was just that person that was at the top that just really just set everything off.
Right.
So
Right.
really, when you're talking to them, you really got to picture yourself on a beach smoking, you just drinking cacao, and then you just like, okay, now what happened? Because that's how I do it. I just visualize myself on the beach when they just ranting, and
You
I'm just
go
like,
someplace else,
and then
and that's important to do, is to go someplace else in your mind, but it's also that time to go into showtime and begin to implementing your tools and your techniques for deflating that person's behavior, and let them know, I do care about how you feel right now. Let's talk about that. And you can do it in a way that they won't even realize what's happening. And so, yes, and I love the fact that you said it's everybody. It doesn't, it doesn't work the same for everybody. You might have to envision yourself someplace else in order to bring yourself to a level to do that. And so it is different from for everybody. But just to take what you just said and to share with your viewers, it takes training. People need to know how to do that and that they can do that instead of being thrown out there, expected to understand how tact works, expected to understand what serving is about, expected to understand whether or not they take abuse or not. Because customer service doesn't mean you take abuse at all. That's a
mm-mm.
no. And understanding how you speak, how you use your language for customer service to put out a fire when it's time to do that is going to be important, and it must be taught.
It has to start with training. Go, I'm
Absolutely.
gonna say it again. Get you a coach. A lot of people like, I just can't afford a coach at this moment. You can't afford to let your business go and suffer
Yeah.
any longer. You
Yes.
cannot afford to continue to missing opportunities of having the customers that you are destined to have, because you
That's
have
right.
poor customer service, you have poor documentation, you have different things and there's people out there that is really willing to help.
That's
But
right.
because we want to continue to live the cheap route instead of
Mhm.
seeing that we need to boss up. 2024, I'm actually working my 2024 plan, y'all.
Mm.
Like I realized when I looked at my vision board, I realized I'm like, dang, I'm already in my 2024 plan. Like some of the things that I'm doing, I'm like, I'm moving into my 2024. And that was because I had awesome mentors, coaches. I had accountability partners that like, hey, you got this on days that I just don't feel like I got it, or they ain't heard from me in a while. They checking on me like, hey, what you working on? I'm big on setting goals for myself, my team, my household, just to make sure that I'm achieving things. But the most important is staying connected to something that I know I'm struggling in, that I know that the part of my business needs. And I knew at this moment for September, I had this on my last year's calendar. Shout out to Coach Andrea, Dr. Andrea, that makes us do these whole plan out calendars for the whole year, you know. And I was like, and when it came on my Google and it said September is your customer service month, I was like, really? I was like, okay. It showed me that in August, that coming into September, that's my customer service month. And so I already had my book prepared. I bought so many books from Coach Francis. I was like, look, girl, I gotta get this.
She bought the largest quantity of books to date. No one.
I gotta get all this stuff set up. You know, I gotta make sure that I have my plans out for my customers, and not just my customers on Tiny Tigers, but my EDU-Station customers. We are going live on Saturday after I finish my CPR class. I'm gonna go live, and I'm going to spin the wheel for anybody that purchased from 2020, the beginning of this year up to now.
Wow.
We're gonna spin a wheel for 2 lucky guests, 2 customers that have purchased, and we're gonna try to do this every week inside of September. So that's something that you do have to be on live to get your gift. Awesome. So you do have to be present. And what we'll do, we'll spin you and we'll let you know, hey, you have won something, but we do want you to be present to show up and see your name being spun on the wheel. But that was just something that I've seen that another person had did, that I follow. Again, she was like, you need to start just giving back. All the times you don't have to always don't have to be a sell. Give back. Have that opportunity to let them know that you appreciate them for even taking the time to look at your website, to take a time to even do the purchase from
your loyalty program. Loyalty programs are so important.
So we don't been on here about an hour and a half, you guys. And like I said, I can talk to my sister all night long.
Yeah, but my ain't full.
Look,
so I can keep going.
And we love talking about childcare and motivating and helping other successful business owners that is out there that's really, really looking for new opportunities, fresh new ideas about how they can gain more client attractions. Get the book, you guys, The Heart of Customer Service in Childcare.
The book, y'all.
Get
the book. I'm telling you. Get
book. It. Are you going to start like a little group soon about this? Like just start adding people to the group? And
I am. One of the things, I do have a private group, Serving Success in Childcare, and I am finding ways to be a little bit more active in there with some providers that are connected to it. I also have an Instagram, which is also Serving Success in Childcare. I'm also on TikTok, Serving Success in Childcare. So it's all the same. And I do meet there and interact quite a bit. And so as far as doing something specific for the book, yes, that is in the works. The Audible is also in the works. I had to kind of press my brake on that one a little bit to prioritize some other things. But the Audible is coming as well. So to answer your question, yes.
Yeah, I get to listen to it in the car. I haven't took a car ride. I was just cleaning out my luggage today, and I said, I haven't took a car ride in a while. Woo, it's time for me to get back on the road again. You know, but that is awesome. Again, you need to have a book that you are able to just plug in and be able to ride down the road with and be like, oh my God, I can utilize this in my business. This is something that I can do today. I remember being a Mary Kay consultant, and they used to have us listen to the CDs, and I used to have them in my Kia all the time. And I'll pop a CD in on my way to go take my son to school or drop him off. Hey, Miss Bankston, drop him off. And he'll be like, and this is why we love the Mary Kay way. I said, Lord, my son probably going to school talking about the Mary Kay Ash way. Lord, but I listened to it and it gave me motivation and encouragement of how to talk to customers. To be surprised, y'all. I was one of the quietest people in America, baby. The only person I talked to was my mom, my sister, my friends. Them the only people I talked to. And when I got to work, I didn't talk to nobody. I didn't socialize with nobody. People thought I was mean. They were like, we don't talk to her. We stay away from her. The pregnant lady in the back, we don't go talk to her. because I just,
Danger.
and that's what it was. They were like, don't drink her Cokes.
Mhm.
Definitely don't
Oh
drink my Coke.
Lord, don't drink her Cokes. Oh
And
my
definitely
God.
don't touch my Mr. Good bars. And they
Mm.
knew. They knew from the back, like, don't mess with her. But then
Mhm.
when I joined Mary Kay, and they had a whole customer service system, how you run your customers, how you talk to your customers, how you check on your customers. And then they also taught us goal setting. So that was back in 2008. So I started literally like goal setting. Then I did nobody sit me down and say, girl, you need to start goal setting. You need to
Yeah.
start prioritizing your life and getting this together. So I shout out to Mary Kay, because
Mhm.
literally that was when I started my business for real, being an
That's
entrepreneur for
awesome.
real. And I just remember, just anytime I just needed a moment of clarity, and I pop in
Mhm.
a CD from Mary Kay Ash, and it's just something that would
It
motivate
was
me.
feeding you, and it was
Yeah.
also keeping you on track with where you were going. That's why I
So
love
that's
the
what I'm
fact that
saying.
you
So
said
you put that on audio,
I
girl. I'd be
did.
like,
I'm in the process of finishing that, and then I will make it available.
okay, today we're listening to Francis. Today, you guys, this is a training. We're going to listen to Francis. But not only that, you can put that audio. You can add it to your employee onboarding process. We're going to talk about
That's what I
customer service.
say. Absolutely. Absolutely added. You can cut it up however you need to and incorporate that into onboarding and attach an assessment to it. I would never train without adding an assessment because I want to know what you actually caught from it. And the only way I'll know that is if you have to repeat back to me what I've said. And so you are absolutely right.
So I'm
That's
excited. I
golden.
can't wait, baby. I've been pushing Francis, y'all. She been pushing me. I've
Good,
been
my
pushing.
girl.
I've been pushing her, baby. I'm like, come on, Francis. What else we got going? Come, Francis. I see this. Francis. She's like, okay. What
Mhm.
else you see? What else
But
do
you
you
know what
see?
it took? It took me being moving myself out of one area that I thought I would be in for the rest of my life to God saying, no, I got something else. Move on over here. And then the ideas literally exploded. And so I'm grateful for that. I'm so thankful for you jumping on. Hey, what's going on? Stay focused on your goals, in the group. Stay
I am
focused on
one
your
of
goals today,
those, and if
y'all.
you don't hear from me, I have some of the squad sisters that are inbox me and be like, hey, you okay? I'm gonna
Yeah.
call you tomorrow. And I'll be like,
Hmm.
did I not do something? I'm like, oh, it's Wednesday. I normally check on everybody on Wednesday.
Right.
And I'm sending out a motivate. I was like, yeah, I'm just not feeling my
Yeah.
best. Yeah, I knew something was wrong. What's going on? And you don't, I'm one of them type of people. I like to like get myself well. I have to tell everybody
Yeah.
what's going on in my life. So that way don't nobody, I don't want no sympathy. I just pray for me. I'm going through some things, but just pray for me. I'm gonna get
Just
through it,
pray. Mhm.
And but people know your character. They know how you move, and they like,
Yeah.
hey, I know LaShawn check on me on Wednesday. She make sure that I'm making sure I'm meeting my goals and I'm accomplishing things in my business.
Hmm.
And so that's why it's important again to connect with a coach,
Yes.
connect with a mentor. I'm gonna
Mm.
keep saying this and saying this
That's
because
right.
going into 2024 without a guidance, without anything to know how your business is going to survive.
It's
A
over for
lot of
that.
a lot of people are like, oh my God, how am I going to survive if it is another COVID? You need to have stuff in place. She's teaching you right
Hmm.
now your customer
That's
journey.
right. And the
She's
kid has a
teaching you.
pandemic policy in it
She got a pandemic policy. How many of y'all got a pandemic policy that you didn't steal from somebody else and had to go pay for it and
and a
everything?
pandemic checklist.
There you go. How to get the resources.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come back on probably next week.
Hmm.
I'm doing a live myself, just talking about how to utilize your grant funds.
That's gonna be good.
It's very important that and I know a lot of us got bookkeepers, we got, a lot of other things, but I really want y'all to take advantage of when these next round of grants come out. We really got to start planning.
Yes,
We
LaShawn,
really need to
please
start
do
planning.
that because not everybody has a bookkeeper. Some people don't even take the opportunity to look into that as an investment and end up losing money because they don't know how to manage it. And so I'm really hoping that you're going to do that. That's going to be so
Yes.
necessary.
I'm linking up. Everybody know my bookkeeper, my friend, my great friend that's been with me, been rocking with me for a long time.
Mm.
I probably have her come on and we'll talk about more just how to utilize the grant the right way, how to
Yeah.
start the documentation that you need to start keeping up with and
Mhm.
everything else, because it's very important this next round of grants, because they are talking about not another grant coming out for us educators.
Yeah.
This is for my childcare owners. I know, I know you feel scarce. Like, where's my finances coming? I had a business credit class that I hosted last week. I want to say the week before last. I talked about business credit. And it's important that we start utilizing the funds, leveraging other people's money. And with the grants, we need to learn how to start leveraging that money as well, like categorizing what is important. What is it that you really need to be getting right now? If you know COVID is coming around the corner, let me make sure I have everything I need to protect my business from COVID.
Everything. Name every penny. Every penny should have a name on it where it's supposed to go. I was just talking to somebody about that earlier. So yes, ma'am. Go ahead. You want to? Yeah.
You want to know why the rich stay richer and why the poor stay poor? Because as soon as we get $2,000, we feel like we got to go buy a bag.
Right.
Everybody trying to go
$2,000 is $2. Change the perspective.
And then the mindset. The mindset right now, because I'm talking to my childcare owners. Right now, we don't charge what we worth.
No, ma'am.
And a lot of y'all trying to count everybody else's pockets. The enemy is not going to shut me up tonight. I'm going to say what I have to say.
Say it.
It's trying to shut my throat. You got to charge what you are worth. Stop trying to go by Sally can only afford $100, but you know your lights at your place of establishment is $300 a month, $400 a month, and you gotta charge what you worth. You know you need a child care coach. You know you need a mentor. You know you need these things. Start budgeting them into your finances now. Stop sitting there and procrastinating on when you're gonna get stuff done. Stop looking for the freebies and start looking for somebody that's gonna be there for you to help you take your business to the next level.
Yes, yes, and yes.
I see it all the time scrolling down my Facebook page. I don't mention it a lot because I'm like, it's the same sad song and dance, but it's too many times you done pass by conferences. You done pass by people that got, like my child care coach, for instance, she does something every month, free something. She did a free framework on, what was that, Saturday, Monday?
Yep. Was it Monday? It was Monday.
It was Monday, Labor Day. You can get in some of them trainings and learn something that you can right then and there implement into your business.
Immediately implement.
But we so scared to invest. That's my new word for you guys. Enemy. 2024, your new word needs to be, I'm going to invest.
That's right.
I'm going to invest in my business. I'm going to invest in myself. Even if you working, some people say working for the man, whatever. If you working for that company or working for somebody, you got to know loyalty. And that's a whole different topic. But loyalty in somebody else's company, but you're not loyalty into your own.
Sheesh.
I see it happen a lot. Companies will wash you away.
Like
and while you put your plan on the back burner, there's this trucking on along. Choo choo. They rolling down the road. While you just now catching up to what you need to be doing. So you really got to, and I'm even talking to my coworkers, people that's on the job. It's time to invest. You walking around here saying that you don't have enough. That's a mindset shift. You need to tell yourself every day. I told my staff, me and her, we play this game. Girl, you see that Ferrari outside? It's nice, ain't it? You know, I love my Kia Carnival. I wouldn't trade it in for nothing in the world. But I say, if you really want the things that you want for life, them are just material things. What I want is health. What I want is my family to be wealthy. I want to vacate every other month. I want to make sure that we're set financially free.
That's so true. And that's what you just said is about personal development. And that's why the staff members, they must have that as part of onboarding. I love that you said that because some people don't look into personal development. But if I'm developing personally, that's actually going to add to my employer. And so, yes.
And so we're going to talk about it a little bit more next week. I'm planning on coming on next week with you guys. And then I'm going to send out a link. If anybody want to join on to the live at that moment, you can join on into the live. We'll be on for about an hour just talking. And then we're going to have Mr. Carter himself. I'm going to surprise him, y'all. Himself come on talking about Chat GPT. how this really can
Ooh,
help you level
yes.
up your business and working on them flyers, getting your updates on your website, creating them fancy dancing busy business cards, making sure that you have everything you need. He also create forms and stuff. Yeah, he knows how to do that. Google, all that
This is
chat.
the power couple.
Yeah. I'm just like, he'd be like, okay, you see this form? I don't, but I believe in you. But he's the whole technology guy behind the scenes of
Yeah.
Tiny Tigers Learning Center in the education station. So I'd be like, okay, you got to come on here, and at least he don't show his face. He's like, no, but he really
Show
has
your
worked.
face, LC.
He's not. Chat GPT has been like the new hype. What is it? AI. You'll correct me, but it's AI. He's saying in the background, AI, AI, and he's going to talk a little bit more about the AI, how this can help with a lot of the business owners. We're not small business owners; we're big business owners, and we got to start thinking on a bigger level.
Right,
And
that's a
playing
mindset
the same game that everybody else is playing. Okay, so it's no more time to saying that you don't know or don't know how to navigate this Chat GPT and everything else. Making sure you downloading the right apps, because I had a lady said, "Oh, I download Chat GPT, baby. That's not Chat GPT. I don't know what that is, but that's not Chat GPT." Thank God for Chat GPT though, because a lot of things I'd be like, I don't know how to answer this.
That's right.
Chat GPT before
Use
you
the
respond.
resources.
What you say, Francis?
I said use the resources and stay connected to people who know the resources. You know.
No, yeah. Well, when they try to call, when they try to have you monitor, whatever they try to do,
Who?
You don't remember the
He out there in the background.
I hear him.
I'm like, who? What are you?
Okay, so you know they had filed a case against you in the
Better Business Bureau.
Yeah, that whole situation.
Oh, yeah. So Chat GPT helped me in the Better Business Bureau. You know, you have some clients that don't always agree with your customer service. So I was like, I'm sitting there like, how am I going to respond back to this?
Right, because there should be a response.
But really, I had to respond out of the flesh, you know, like, because the way I really wanted to respond, it wasn't going to get handled the right way. But
letter because you called everybody in the state.
Oh, you talking when they trying to put me on a safety plan? Yeah. Oh, he talking about the safety plan, baby. I got so many stories, baby. You gotta remind me which one. Oh yeah. Okay, so to wrap this on up, you guys. So they was trying to put me on a safety plan, and I was like, I don't have no reason to be on a safety plan. Me personally, be on a safety plan. And we have them parents that sometimes go over and beyond. They get upset because God knows what happens. Again, it's great to have that feedback from your customer service. When I sent out letters on Tuesday, I have a testimony Tuesdays. I send out a Google review to all my parents, and they have to fill it out. Some of them fill it out, some of them don't. This particular parent did fill it out, you guys, and she left my daycare program, left with good graces. She was like, "Oh my God, I'm moving, I'm changing jobs, you know, this sad same song." I was like, "Okay, girl, well, if you ever come back in over here, he still has a spot." I'm just as jolly as she is. 2 months down the road, I get hit with licensing. My license counselor probably like, "Yeah, got hit with licensing." And I was like, "What you here for?" And she was like, "Well, I got a complaint." About what? So she started talking about the incident, and I'm big on documentation. Baby, I'm a document. If the baby came in with a arm doing like this, baby, I'm coming. I'm documenting everything. Just because you don't see my notebook, I document it. Yeah. So the parent had a complaint. Complaint wasn't valid. So I'm like, hold on, bring me that handy dandy iPhone. I take pictures of everything. I make sure my staff take pictures of everything. But not only that, she said I was rude to her, that I was very rude. I said, me? She must have called me on my bad day. I said, what day was this? So Google don't lie. It shows you a whole timeline, you guys. I was in Memphis, Tennessee. I wasn't even in Chattanooga at all. So we knew it was a lie. So they put me on a safety plan. Saying they couldn't even figure out the rule of the safety plan. This is why it's important, childcare owners, to know your licensing rule. Baby, this is your Bible. I'm going to go Joe Osteen on y'all. This is your Bible. Everything that's in it.
Hold it up.
Hold it up. So I'm looking at my staff members. I'm in a frantic because I'm like, how you going to put me, the director, on the safety plan? Girl, you funny. So I'm calling everybody. I'm one of them type of people, baby. I'm not gonna stop until you give me an answer of what law I broke, and tell me which safety plan. Why am I on a safety plan? And no one can tell me. So
Right.
chat GPT. I called my husband at work. And I was like, "Hey, let me tell you about these people." Now I said some other choice words, but I said, "Let me tell you about these people." Then I put your wife on a safety plan. He said, "What is a safety plan, first of all?" So I had to give him the information. So he was like, "In Chat GPT." He was like, "Never mind, I'm gonna do it," because I was already like above 1,000.
Yeah. Mhm.
So he copied and pasted it to me and was like, "This is what you send them." I sent it to everybody in Nashville. Everybody in Nashville got an email. Within about, I want to say within 15 minutes, my phone was blowing up. I'm on the phone. I'm like, "Hold on, I gotta call you back because I don't recognize this number." "Hey, this is Miss Carter. Hey, I just got an email from you. Why are you on a safety plan? I'm looking this up. The power of Chat GPT, baby. It makes you sound so professional. Because really, behind closed doors, I was back there like, you know what? I'm gonna tear it up. But it was just, now that you got out, she said, "Look, Christina gonna say 199 people within 30 seconds." It really, my phones was off the chain that day. I was like, "Off of one letter that I emailed to everybody." And she was like, "We don't have you on a safety plan. I'm sorry about this. It was a misunderstanding." I was like, you can't draw to a conclusion about a safety plan when in childcare world, we take that serious.
That's right.
That's like me going to jail for some stuff that I ain't do. You putting a charge on me, baby. I ain't even do all that. But and you have no evidence. And so Chat GPT, AI special intelligence saved the day that day, because if I would have sent the email in the way I wanted to send the email,
it would have been a different response.
Y'all want to see Miss Carter standing right here, okay? It would have went sideways. Even and we're gonna talk about this next week, because even when you in your emotions, just how to handle that customer service. Yes. How to handle the talking. Like, if you're not the best at talking to people through your apps, through your I tell my people at the daycare, put it inside Chat GPT before you respond. Now, it might not sound like you, but I don't want the real you to come out, because I done had that happen to me, to where people express their own feelings and then it goes all out in the world. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna
and
come
you can't take it back. So
and you can't take it, but Francis, you can't take it back, baby. You can't take it back. It's there. It'll die down. Somebody else will be on public, news later on. But I noticed that about the childcare world, that we don't know how to react to a lot of things. We think if we wear our emotions right here on our sleeve, and as soon as something pop off, a parent say a complaint or drag your name through Facebook, you feel like you got to react. The only way you need to react is with them customer service feedbacks. Absolutely. What are you getting back with them customer service? You pay damage control right then and there. Where's your PR?
Right. In advance. These things should already be in place in advance, because you need to be prepared for those situations. And you can also avoid them if you are prepared.
You have somebody working your back office. Every time something going down, you like, okay, hey, I need you to play damage control. Pull out that video when we was playing the Circle Time song. I'm always videoing something or seeing something around my daycare that I see that is very showing positivity in the community. Let me video that. Let me take a picture of that. Because soon as I see somebody that want to talk negative or say something that's not of my business, not of my brand, let me show you what my brand represents.
Right. And there should always be a reply. There should always be a reply.
Y'all, he got me started on my page. Look, he done came in here after I said he don't even say nothing, y'all. He done came in here, done got me, y'all. He done got me. But to end this, I want y'all to really go look at Coach Francis, her website. Go check her out. Get everything. The Heart of Customer Service, you guys. I want you to read this book. Look up Francis Davis. She's on Facebook, Instagram, and she's on TikTok, y'all. Woo!
I've made it to TikTok, y'all. I've made it there, doing whatever I can do. So can I just say this really quickly? If you order through Amazon, the book will come. If you order through me, I'm actually sending gifts with the book. So either way is fine. I just want to make sure that everybody's aware of that.
Oh, and I love her gifts. It's a nice pen. Somebody stole both of my pens, Francis, at the daycare. I gotta find my pens. Somebody done took my pens at the daycare. Every time I leave a pen out, I told Miss Amy today, I said, they got me. She said, your pen? I said, yep. my pen.
And
I
those
think
are good pens. Oh, I love
and
those
it was a great pen, y'all. It's a great pen. So somebody done got me. If I see them walking around with it, Christina's laughing. That means she got my pen. That means she got my pen.
Christina.
She got my pen. And the sad thing is, I gave them I bought them a teacher bucket with pens and everything
You
in it.
sure did.
Went all
Everything,
out.
the works.
Went on out. But I thank you so much, Coach Francis, for coming on to the Education Station podcast.
Pleasure.
Everybody that's the viewers, everybody that's tuning in, even if you're watching the replay, everything, just let us know. Comment, subscribe. Let us know what is more that you want to see on the Education podcast. I have been getting inboxes. Y'all want to see more lifestyle, more people talking about like how is it running a business for real,
Yes, real talk.
How is the daily day? So that's why I said I would come on. Sometimes if I don't have a special guest, I would come on and just tell y'all really and honest how to transfer. Y'all know I'm gonna keep it real regardless. I'm gonna keep it 100. But I heard you. You want to know how to really run your business successfully. I'm coming out with a declutter video of how I'm decluttering my house, how I'm decluttering my bedroom. Being a busy entrepreneur, honey, I just stack stuff away and keep it moving some days. So I'm really showing you the behind the scenes of how a busy entrepreneur sometimes just let a house go down some days, and you just got to figure out how do you put the pieces back and come up with a plan, a strategy. So we got a lot of that coming through. Lifestyle goals, fitness goals. What are some other streams of income that you can add to your business? Yes, we're going to have some great guests to come on and talk to you about some streams of income that you can add right now to your business at a little of no cost that you're already buying right now, like hair products and makeup and hair and all this other stuff. So we got that coming on, but we thank again, go get her HR. Is available now, right?
Yes,
HR.
And it's loaded.
Go get it. It's no reason why you shouldn't have a policy for that biter in your daycare center.
No reason at all.
You got it. You know you got that biter. Little biter.
I go into that.
Yes. He biting everything. You got the kid that like to tear up your furniture. I'm pretty sure she got a policy on that as well.
So I have 2 kits coming out. The child kit is coming out. The one I have out now is for your staff, and it's packed and loaded. So yes, I do have one coming out for the children as well. So be on the lookout.
Ooh. So this is the time, the new hire season. If you're one of the ones that hire for like the seasonal hires. So like I said, this is not just for childcare owners. If you are in business and you have a boutique or you have a restaurant or something of that nature and you hire for the season, this is an HR portal that you can use, that you can start training your staff.
Absolutely.
Hey, this is the documentation that I need. This is what, the health requirements and everything else, policies that you need to have in place. So I am so excited. We're definitely going to have her link and everything else on our website and letting y'all know how you can purchase this book. She said you purchase it through Amazon, you're getting it through Amazon. But if you purchase through her, she's going to send you a gift with purchase. And I love my little sayings in my books. So I always like when I get my autographs in my books. So she autographs your books as well. So I thank y'all so very much for tuning in. And we definitely going to have Coach Francis back on once we get this HR packet in hand.
Oh, I live here now. This is one of my new residences. So yes, I will be back.
She got it back on, you guys. Yes, because I want to do a sip and chat, a tea and chat one Saturday where we just chatting and sipping. We sipping and chatting.
Oh, yeah, I'll have my tea next time. I didn't know this time. I'll have my tea next time.
So shout out to, I think this one is, I tried the new tea today. It's ginger lemon tea.
I love, oh my gosh, LaShawn, that's the best one. Ginger lemon.
Girl, y'all should have warned me. It's a little spicy for me. But
yeah, it's strong.
It did soothe my throat. It did, it did what it's supposed to do. But this was my new tea today. So shout out to them. It was very strong. But I did get used to it. I want you to come on. I'm gonna have Professor Reed to come on. Maybe we'll get Coach Dr. Andrea Dickerson to come on with us one Saturday. We have pajamas and tea day.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
And chat and just talk to the viewers and let them know, hey, this is what Childcare Boss's lifestyle look like. You can chill and relax and still be a boss and still run your business from the comfort of your home.
Absolutely.
Well, I love you, sis. You have a wonderful and blessed day. You
Thank
kiss the kids and tell the husband I said, hey.
I sure will. Love y'all. I'll see you next time. Thank you for inviting me. I love
You
that so much.
welcome. All right, you guys. I thank y'all so very much. We're getting ready to end our broadcast. If you want to be a new contestant on our new guest on our page, just let us know. Please email us at the education station 423@gmail.com. Also, make sure that you let us know how have you liked our podcast so far. So just email us and say, hey, I need to see more of this, or I need to see more of that, or I need to see less of that and more of this. Okay, so let us know. But other than that, all aboard the education station. Y'all have a wonderful night. Choo choo.
See you.